Hey, thanks for dialing up another edition of the Lakers Report. Fired up to be with you. And we've got a lot to talk about because what have I told you once? I've told you a million times. This time of year, things are liquid. They are in motion. The trade deadline talks continue to be rampant amongst the NBA circle. And the latest from Brian Windhorst, he lists D'Angelo Russell as the player the Lakers are most likely to trade. Very intriguing when you consider how well D'Angelo Russell has been playing in January and the fact that maybe in the Lakers' biggest potential trade deal, the opposing team or the trade partner, if you will, might not necessarily be interested in D'Angelo Russell. So boy, is it as interesting as ever. So roll up your sleeves and let's get into it. And before we go any further, how about a little reminder that when any breaking news happens around the NBA trade deadline, we make a video. We've got you covered from every single angle on the Lakers Report, and that is why you subscribe, my friends, covering the purple and gold as well as anybody, and better than anybody, in fact. So make sure you smash that sub button if you haven't already, and let's continue to grow. We are inching closer and closer to our next milestone of 53,000, and who's going to help us be in there? You there, you're watching right now, help us reach 53,000 subscribers because it's going to be a fun ride as the purple and gold go into the NBA trade deadline and beyond. Now, more on the Lakers trade plans. Brian Windhorst, obviously an ESPN insider, talking about the player most likely the Lakers will most likely trade, enlisting D'Angelo Russell as that guy. Here's the full quote from the article on ESPN.com. Russell waived his right to veto trades as part of this deal last summer. Clearly, the Lakers viewed him as a possible trade option back then, and a $17 million deal fits into that mode. Russell has been linked in talks over a potential deal for Murray, obviously pictured on the right there, Dejounte Murray. But Russell also just had his best 3 weeks of the season. As I mentioned, he's been playing really well as of late. You look at his stats in the month of January, my goodness, they jump off the page at you. Far and away his best month of production, 23.8 points per game. Look at the shooting percentage, so efficient from the floor. And you look at the numbers across the board, you think, my goodness, that's a point guard you want to build around. And so maybe you have to pull out the lead course. So not so fast, my friends, on the trade talk and being willing to deal a guy like D'Angelo Russell at the trade deadline when he's playing as well as he is. Or maybe you make the case that, hey, that stock is climbing high and now is the time to make that trade. And when you think about the Lakers front office and what they've actually done, they have sent an offer to the Atlanta Hawks in exchange for Dejounte Murray. Take a look at this from NBA insider Brett Siegel talking about the Lakers' specifics and how they've been trying to make a trade happen for Dejounte Murray. He said no team has been involved in trade discussions for Atlanta Hawks guard Dejounte Murray more than the Los Angeles Lakers. General manager Rob Pelinka and the Lakers front office have been extremely involved in trade chatter around the league in recent weeks, marking Murray as their top target a few weeks ago. He went on to say, the premier guard on the trade market this season, Murray, has held a firm asking price from the Hawks, 2 first-round picks, and a key talent who can fit in alongside Trae Young. So, the trade rumor that apparently the Lakers offered to get Dejounte Murray, which obviously wasn't enough, they wanted to send D'Angelo Russell, Jalen Hood-Schifino, who hasn't really played at all, and a 2029 first-round pick to Atlanta in exchange for Dejounte Murray. That trade obviously did not happen because, like the Hawks have been saying, they've been transparent, they've been forthright, we need 2 first-round picks in exchange for Dejounte Murray. So obviously that's a lot to ask for. Now, I think this would indicate that you have to give up even more in order to be even considered for the Dejounte Murray sweepstakes. We talked about the 2 first-round picks. That's the big one. And secondly, coupled with the fact that the Hawks don't necessarily love D'Angelo Russell, so maybe that's not the key piece involved in that trade because they're looking for a guy they can pair with Trae Young. And if I'm Atlanta and you look at the recent sample size of D'Angelo Russell, hey, maybe that makes a little bit more sense now when you consider how well he's been playing. So maybe you take this trade offer right here and add in another first-round pick, and I know that's a lot. That is a lot, but maybe the Hawks would reconsider their stance on D'Angelo Russell based on how well he's been playing. But either way, I want to ask you today's pinned question of the day, pinned comment. Make sure you're honest with me on this one. Do you want the Lakers to trade D'Angelo Russell? Real simple. Type Y for yes or N for no. And if YouTube hits you with that ad break, don't worry. Just get down in the comments and let me know. Now, coming up, we're going to make the case of keeping D'Angelo Russell because he has been playing so well in the month of January, and maybe this core is better off with him as the floor general. But first, I want to tell you about today's proud presenting sponsor, Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Forget every other app, every other way to play fantasy sports, to play daily fantasy sports. I'm telling you, this is all you need. It's the most exciting and largest independently owned daily fantasy sports platform, so you know you're getting the best, and here's how it works. You simply pick more or less on a player's projected stat total, and it just adds a little pizzazz, a little juice to each and every game that you're watching. And I know we're watching every second of the purple and gold, so why not make it that much more appealing with Prize Picks? And as I said, it's very easy to understand how it works. I've been telling you all season long about Prize Picks, but let's make it even more interesting. How about Demons and Goblins? Oh yes, that's right, new from Prize Picks. Some of the Demons picks are even harder to win, but they pay out even better. Goblins a little bit more of a safer pick. Check out what I'm working with tonight. And we're talking about Dejounte Murray and D'Angelo Russell, so you know I'm including them on my card. I'm picking more on Dejounte Murray's projected point total of 24.5, and you see the demon icon next to that one, so you know it's a little bit tougher. I'm picking more on D'Angelo Russell's 24 points projected stat line, and more on Trae Young's point total of 25.5. Life's too short to pick less, so I'm picking more. And if you're with me, go ahead and make those picks. If not, hey, fade me. It won't hurt my feelings. Either way, you got to go to prizepicks.com/CLNS because that's where we have up to a $100 deposit match. I'm not even kidding. Up to a $100 deposit match. How about that? At prizepicks.com/CLNS. The most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Find out for yourself at prizepicks.com/CLNS. And oh yeah, we love you and we care about you here on the Lakers Report. So that link is going right in the comments and description of today's video. It's prizepicks.com/CLNS. Now, when we look at D'Angelo Russell's stat production and entire body of work in the month of January, I'm wondering if the month of January has changed your opinion because a lot has happened in the first month of the 2024 calendar year. The Lakers are 6-6, so still middling around that 500 marks and still evaluating what the detail and the options for Dejounte Murray in a trade might look like. Now, we looked at D'Angelo Russell's month of January. Here's Dejounte Murray's month of January. Better than 23 points per game. The assists right around 5 and not quite shooting as well from the field, but still very efficient. Basically the same, right around 50% at 48.8, and from the long line at 40%. So when you put the two players next to each other, a lot of discussion and how different they really have been because there's not that much separation. And so when you talk about what Atlanta is asking for, 2 first-round picks in addition to the caliber player like D'Angelo Russell, maybe you reevaluate a little bit because, again, the month of January, and sure, recency bias is a thing, but you put the players up next against one another in the month of January, and it's been extremely similar. So that has me scratching my head wondering, is it really worth it to mortgage the future to bring in a guy like Dejounte Murray? Then you have somewhat of a reset in terms of finding that level of cohesiveness, finding that chemistry, which has been something Darvin Ham and the coaching staff, frankly, have really struggled with. And I know you can say what you will about Darvin Ham, but to throw him into the mix with a new curveball of adding a player like Dejounte Murray and figuring out the rotation and taking out a player like D'Angelo Russell, maybe it is a pump the brakes situation. I, for one, am kind of up in the air about it. I could see the Lakers going all in. Last week at this time, I said, yeah, make the trade. Let's bring Dejounte Murray. But you got to give D'Angelo Russell a lot of credit for blocking out the noise and playing as well as he has, even in the midst of trade deadline rumors circulating around him. So, with that said, more to reconsider if the trade for Dejounte Murray involving D'Angelo and Frew assets would, in fact, make the difference, because as Brett Siegel on the Lakers and NBA Insider reports, the Lakers are going to continue to reconsider those options of what that trade might look like. So I got to ask you to pick a point guard for me, because I'm a little bit torn. You got to let me know, who do you want running the show for the Lake Show? If it is, in fact, Dejounte Murray and you're still on board with a blockbuster deal to shake things up, go ahead and type DM. If you want to play the course, run it as it is with D'Angelo Russell at the point guard position running the show for the Lakers, type DR in the comments. Either way, we want to hear from you, because that's what makes the Lakers Report great. Pick a point guard, DM for Dejounte Murray, DR for D'Angelo Russell. Hey, if you want to stay locked in for endless Lakers content, this is the channel for you. No better place to get your fix on the purple and gold, covering every ankle of the Lake Show, than the Lakers Report. So make sure you subscribe. And better yet, I know you know a Lakers friend. I know you got a friend of a friend that's a friend that is a Lakers fan. Tell them about the channel, because come one, come all, we're sharing Laker knowledge each and every day, and this is the channel for you. It's free. And you know what? If you don't absolutely love it, fine. Unsubscribe. It'll break my heart, but I think you're going to like what you see on the Lakers Report. Want to thank my producer today, Jack Lauderay, on the ones and twos. Couldn't make the Lakers Report happen without him. And until next time, have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, night, whenever you're watching this. And we'll see you next time on the Lakers Report.